Similarly, the European Association respectfully asks that the court prioritise the rights of thousands of Norwegians not to be stigmatised for following the Bible over the hurt of a few vocal activists who have successfully exercised their right to leave. To use the words of a former judge of the European Court, history has taught Europeans that the state has an obligation to secure true religious pluralism, which is an inherent feature of the notion of a democratic society. Therefore, public authorities should be particularly careful not to denigrate a religious minority group. Religious minorities already fight a hard battle for survival in many uncompromising political regimes in the four corners of the world. They could dispense with such a battle in Europe. Jehovah's Witnesses have been present in Europe for more than 140 years. They are your neighbours and your colleagues. Their children go to mainstream schools. As we heard in this court, they are computer technicians, company directors, doctors, professors, mothers, fathers, husbands and wives. They come from all parts of society. So to conclude, I would like to quote the Holy Scriptures to indicate what all Jehovah's Witnesses desire. In the Bible book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 1 and 2 it states, "First of all then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions and thanksgiving be made concerning all sorts of men, concerning kings and all those who are in high positions, so that we may go on leading a calm and quiet life with complete godly devotion and seriousness."
We see the spokesman of the Watchtower speaking in one of the appeals in Norway, stating about that in Europe that they are part of a charity. In the UK, he didn't mention regarding that the Charity Commission had criticised the Watchtower for not protecting children. Here in Norway, we see that the Watchtower will lie, deceive to a court because it is an enemy of God. Theocratic, lying. But it doesn't care about children. It only cares about money. Because if it cared about children, it would have stopped the shunning in families, it would have stopped the disfellowshipping, it would have stopped children at a young age that cannot make decisions for themselves to be baptised. It would protect children from child abuse because of the two-witness rule, needing two witnesses. But we see that in the Royal Australian Commission, where there were those that needed help, those that needed counselling that had been abused by 1,000 Jehovah's Witnesses, abused, didn't report it to the police. Some of those were children, but they weren't protected. Many cases, like in the United States, children are being abused. They're not being protected. And we see that the Watchtower, who we've heard in other cases speaking for the Watchtower. The reason why I'm going back to the Australian Royal Commission is because they were asked to pay for counselling, support and compensation and apology to the people that had been abused, but did nothing until the government threatened its charitable status, which meant the money that the Australian government gives to the Watchtower would be taken away And as soon as the Watchtower was threatened with that, after a certain amount of time, it paid the compensation. Norway, it lost its charitable status. It lost its appeal to begin with. And there was money, nearly £1 million or £500,000 would have been taken away. And that is all that the Watchtower cares about. Not the children, not the rules, not the protection of children, but money. And that's what it was all about when it won its appeal. And I can understand ex-witnesses being heartbroken. I was surprised. But then when you go back, nothing would surprise you about this lying organisation. And one day the comments of the Watchtower will come to that point where you can only lie, you can only use certain things like persecution, religious freedom. As a cult, you can only use that for a certain amount of time. It will prove in time that shunning is against human rights, that the Watchtower only cares about money, and that it doesn't protect children and it doesn't care about children. It's not a nice thing to say.